2, 3.
Sweet song music on it.
1, 2, 3, we're the Wolves from all 4 of us. No.
I'm with the Wolves, and I hear you've you literally just brought out the new album. So, tell us something about the new album.
We have. So this is Live It Up. The interesting thing about Live It Up was that this was entirely financed by one track that we managed to we PRS'd, as you do with your material, and one track got played an awful lot by the Aerobic Society of Great Britain.
Lots of middle-aged women hurling themselves about to it. Yeah.
So we're really chuffed with it. We did it at the Warehouse over in Harrogate with Dan Misen, who is a genius. And yeah, we've got all our own material. Really pleased with it. So we're excited about pushing it out there and playing them.
We're just looking for another aerobics hit now.
Yeah.
So tell us something about the process that you had for writing. Did you have like ideas? How did you sketch things out that became the final tracks?
So generally, I think it's probably a fairly classic way that we, when Chris and I met a good few years ago now, we kind of hit it off and started talking about the same kind of references immediately, which was great.
The three kings, Albert and BB and Freddie King. Right?
Yeah,
we started
and I found myself in a situation where I had a killer rhythm section and myself, and we needed another member, and we started talking, and Chris said, I've got like a stack of lyrics that I write all the time, they just keep coming out, what I need is guitar riffs. And I said, well, I can't write lyrics to save my life, but I've got a hell of a lot of guitar riffs. That's kind of what I do. So I went, well, that should work quite nicely. And that is kind of how it works. It's fairly straightforward. So, I mean, as an example, a song like You've Been My Rock, which, if there were such things, would be the single. That's probably a good example of just a 2-chord riff that I kind of like the feel of. And it's just a fairly funky little riff. And I started playing that, and then Chris went, oh, that's quite cool, and just sort of mirrored it with the Hammond. And then we brought it to the guys, and then what tends to happen is we can write that way, and we kind of feel quite confident about it, and then you bring it to these guys, and suddenly it can become completely different and sort of greater than the sum of the parts, which is kind of where we try and get to.
That's the good thing, write a song, and these guys make it better than you imagine. You know?
That's right.
I mean, the thing about this band, it's a rare thing. Everybody's more or less on the same page, you know. It's not like somebody wants to go off and be a jazz musician now, you know. Everybody likes funky blues.
I do actually want to go off and be a jazz musician.
Oh, you never told me that.
That's my existence.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Well,
play that
as an example, so it's a 2-chord riff, which is it's a 2-chord minor riff, which just goes like that.
I saw you down by the shoreline.
new album, Nick.
Fresh off the press.
Fresh
Do
off
you
the
want to give
press.
a close up there?
Just landed
We could
today.
do a bit of a close up
Look
there.
at- look at that
Thank you very
beautiful
much.
cover.
Designed by Jim Eggy.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Mr. Heggie has
Well,
designed the
thank you.
cover. It's a beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. It really is. Look at that. It's absolute genius. So yeah, we've just received this. We've just got this. We've just got them delivered. So very excited about this.
And there's not only you guys, but I hear that you have some guests on it as well. Who do you have on it?
Well, I used to be in a band called Exiles Intact back in the 80s, which was a reggae band.
Why were they called that, Chris?
I have no idea.
Ah,
Yeah. But they're now called Moja, and the two women in Moja, when Martha Reeves comes over from Martha and the Vandellas, they become the English Vandellas. So we can't actually say that on the album, but actually we've got the Vandellas singing on our album.
we have some
The
Vandellas,
UK
And they're
Vandellas.
very
They
UK
are-
Vandellas.
and they are
They're dynamite.
superb.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to Mark.
Absolutely. And the other special guest we had was Mr. John Burr, who is I would argue probably the
Best harmonica player about. Yeah.
best harmonica player around. To
Certainly
be
one
quite
of the
honest.
finest.
Yeah.
He's an absolutely fine player, so it was an absolute pleasure to get him on this album. The guy's a genius.
Excellent. And if you want to get the album, what's the best way to get the album?
Best way to get the album at the moment is you can download it on all good download sites, as we say, or you can go on the website and order it through PayPal, or come to one of our gigs and you can take it off our hands. And if you come to one of our gigs, not only do you get this, but you get a free version of our live album with it. So you get buy one, get one free.
All
You
for
get-
10,
you
all
get
for
a
10
piece of
quid,
that.
folks. Yeah. Yeah.
So we're talking about 2-chord songs, 3-chord songs, and you were saying Woody Guthrie had a famous comment
Oh,
on
he
this.
said, you know, if there's more than 5 chords in a song, it's probably not very good. You know, I think he had a point. You know.
There's a couple of yours then that aren't very good, aren't there?
Yeah,
I've
there
done
are.
that. I've done a few.
Jazz Odyssey.
Jazz Odyssey particularly.
Yeah.
Try and avoid that if possible can.
I hear you guys are playing Colne Blues Festival, which is
Saturday the 25th of August. isn't it,
Correct.
This year, that's when we're playing at the Hippodrome at 7:40.
7:40. What can we expect from you guys in that set?
All the hits. We're doing just all the hits. We're going to hit them straight between the eyes with the full A game set, and they're not going to know what's hit them. It's going to be absolutely. Can't wait. Actually, that is going to be an awesome gig because I think it's a great stage. It looks like a great venue. I'm excited by that whole festival because it's completely been rejuvenated by the team that Jason Elliott's got over there, and it looks. It's going to be fantastic.
So who have been you mentioned the Three Kings, who have been the people who've been standout influences for you that have really shaped and helped inspire the Wolves' unique sound?
The Meters. They've been big for all of us.
Probably a big one was the Meters, yeah. Just that sort of funky kind of, that sort of funky American sound.
New Orleans.
New Orleans sound was a big influence, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of other things. There's so many other influences in there. Soul influence like Bill Withers.
We're very fond of his songs and
Just that feel. You listen. You look back at some of that footage, some of that Old Grey Whistle Test footage of Bill Withers. He's just stunning. You know, his band were just. That's the kind of sound and feel that you're kind of looking for.
I was when I was 21. The band's second album came out, the Brown album, and that changed my life because I saw these guys making a stew out of lots of different kinds of music. There was country music, there was blues, there was soul, everything in there. And I thought that's what I want to do with my life. But I had to live it really. So I was in reggae bands and I was in soul bands over the years.
So I understand that there is a certain, as well as musical influences, there's a certain culinary influence on the band, particularly around cake.
Yes, I have to make cake for them every rehearsal. They've never had a rehearsal without cake.
We
In
don't
fact,
show up, do we, if there isn't
No.
any cake? That's
There's
simple as
I have another band, and the guitarist from that band and Tim were sitting in the pub one night, and Tim said, "You know, we get cake at our rehearsals." I said, "You get cake? We don't get cake."
Buy this, you get a piece of cake free.
You can have your cake and eat it.
You can have your cake and eat it.
Yeah.
Well, certainly live, you guys sound great. You know, we recorded stuff at the Blues Bar, and it would just reminded me of the great tradition of a really good R&B band cooking away. You know.
Great. That's the idea. That's the plan.
This is a good dance. If you've got a tambourine, get it out. This is a good dance. Get everybody else. Get everybody else. Dancing up the stairs. Guys on the stairs with lessons. You might know this one. Gives me an opportunity to introduce my brothers up here on the stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Chocolate chip and banana cake. I think.
Banana. Although the coconut and lime.
Coconut and lime's a close second.
You see, I don't like coconut.
Actually, what we need is a Wolves recipe book.
No,
Yeah, we should.
Wolves recipe book.
We could have a recipe book live. We could have it with an album. You
Yeah.
get a recipe for a bit for a.
We could
for
go
cake.
into the cake business, couldn't we?
Actually, forget all.